Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Mnet finally gave us the opening ceremony of Queendom 2 and with that one performances by each participant to see what we can overall expect from them during this show. I at least assumed that was the mission, because let me tell you, the difference between these performances is so astronomical in everything. Skills shown, budget, just overall thought and effort put into it. Literally everything, which is kinda what I predicted when the lineup was announced. So yeah, we will go from my least favorite to my favorite performance and review each one in a bit more detail as well. I also came up with a point system of my own, which we will do during the entire show, so at the very end we can compare the actual ranking of the groups and who won in reality, with my own ranking based on these points and who should be the winner based on my opinion. Okay, let's start with the worst performance of all 6. In 6th place we have Viviz, who as a result get 1 point from me. Now I want for you all who yelled at me in the comments, when I said that I expect for Viviz to not do well and that I don't want them in this lineup, to look at this performance and tell me I was wrong. Try to tell me that. You literally can't because this was such a bad performance in all possible ways. First of all, they were the only participants who didn't even open their mouth and instead just danced. The irony in this is that their vocals are probably the best shot they have in this show. Clearly dancing isn't what they should be focusing on at all. The only member that did well was Sin B and that's it. I can't even begin to tell you how painful it was to watch Ji's solo part, because you could see all her dancing weaknesses coming to life right then and there. G-Friend has great dances and they were known for that, but Viviz isn't G-Friend and 2 out of 3 members are weak or average dancers. Combine that with their non-existent stage presence and you get this. If they at least sang one chorus or like one verse, I would be a lot happier. Whoever put this performance together for them just didn't understand the assignment. They didn't understand they were supposed to showcase their strengths and not their weaknesses. I hope they do better next time or I can guarantee you right now they will be at the very bottom by the end of the show. No doubt here at all in my mind. They need to step their damn shit up. In 5th place we have Hyolyn and she gets there for 2 points from me. For some reason you all assume now that I hate Hyolyn just because I said I'm not a fan of her vocals and they don't stand out to me in any particular way. That doesn't mean I hate her, for God's sake, stop assuming things please. I tune into each of her comebacks every time and I have nothing against her. It's just that I didn't expect much from her on this show, compared to other participants and clearly based on her first performance, I wasn't far off. Now don't get me wrong. Vocally she delivered probably the most out of all performances. I didn't hear a single missed note and we didn't expect anything less from her. But everything else was just not there. The set was non-existent and there was nothing interesting going on. It lasted less than 2 minutes and it managed to get me bored. This is the type of performances that is great for your regular music show, but a competition show like this, I don't know, there was no budget, no story, nothing to wow me at all. She is also the only participant here that has a small fan base, so her goal should be to impress as many people as possible and blow us all away. Somehow, she's capable of doing that. But just coming on stage and doing a little sexy dance won't cut it, I fear. She will need to show more if she doesn't want to be at the very bottom by the end of the show. This is not me trying to be mean, but I think pretty much everyone can agree that this performance wasn't delivering. It just wasn't, and I hope in the future she actually puts more thought into it and shows us what she is actually capable of. 'Cause this definitely isn't it. In 4th place we have Brave Girls, who get 3 points from me. If you wanted to see a definition of a snooze fest, here you freaking go. This performance was exactly that. Now, I can see what they tried to achieve. Focus on dancing entirely and give us that Michael Jackson little inspiration. Well, there are a few problems with that. Their strength lies in their vocals and we barely got any of them in this performance. Like, why wouldn't you try to show what you do best? Unless their company thinks it's dancing, but then someone needs to explain to them that dancing is their weakness more than it is their strength. At some points they were barely in sync, the choreo as a whole was very simplistic and there was just nothing for me to grasp on. Believe me, I tried very hard, but I just couldn't help but be bored out of my mind. The set which established this retro feel was pretty and fits with their overall aesthetic as a group well. Don't know what it had to do with the concept of their outfits though, because they almost clashed if you ask me. I don't know man, why wouldn't they just sing, do a simple dance and walk off? It would have been way better, although I still doubt they would rank higher than they are now. I just know they are capable of more and that's why I don't understand what the hell this was. No clue at all and I'm upset about it. I'm not sure they have what it takes to win this show if they keep going on like this. I wish them nothing but the best of course, but we need to step it up drastically. Like right now please. In third place we have Kepler and they get 4 points for their performance. It's nothing new to anyone that I'm one of the rare people that is actually so happy for Kepler to be one of the participants. Like these are my girls and I'm glad they are getting this opportunity to show off their skills even more. It's clear that out of everyone they are the ones that have to show they are deserving of being here the most and they took that job very seriously. Yes, in terms of the set this was nothing special, but that's the thing. If you have many members and interesting choreography, the set doesn't need to be mind-blowing for it to work. This just gave me everything I could possibly ask for and I was so hyped up and intrigued the whole way through. I'm not saying this just because I love the group. They genuinely did an amazing job with this. See the Light was an interesting choice of a song, but it ended up suiting perfectly the powerful choreo they had along with it. Hikaru in the center blew my mind off and Xiaoting also took my breath away. I wish for some other members to get more spotlight, but I hope they do in their next performances, since I didn't really get a feeling everybody shined equally in this one. I also love the reference to taking the crown in both lyrics and choreography, since this is season 2 of Queendom and they are here to compete for the crown Mamamo currently has from winning season 1. The outfits also aligned with that and I absolutely adore that. You can see a lot of thought was put into connecting everything together and it's along with members' insane performance that brought them so high in my ranking. They have a chance to win this thing, I'm telling you all. Watch out for them. In second place is WJSN and for that they get 5 points. I was especially excited for WJSN or Cosmic Girls to be on this show since this is a group that I'm highly interested in standing, but don't know much about. Therefore I was excited to see more of their talents and each individual member's strength and then decide whether or not I want to stand them. Well, I can tell you that this performance already brought me a huge step forward towards standing, because this was exactly what I imagined for the opening performance to look like. The black and white intro slowly transitioning into colors established right away that they came here to deliver their best. The magical and fairy tale-like concept truly suited the members, as well as the song they chose to perform with it. Every single second of the 2 minutes they had was well used and I rewatched the performance twice just to really let everything settle it. I wished for a bit more vocals to be present, but then again they still had enough of them to the point they were able to show this as one of their strengths, along with dancing of course. The outfit change too put them extra apart from other performances, since it showed even more effort and thought put into the whole thing. They just showed that even if the time you have to perform is short, you can still make 100% out of it and show everything you got. Although I'm pretty sure this is just the cherry on top of the whole cake we are yet to see from them. Imagine what they can do with 3 minutes or more. I didn't come into this show with WJSN exactly in mind as potential winners, but let me tell you, I'm now strongly believe they can actually swipe this whole show up and go home with a crown. I wouldn't complain at all. In first place we have Loona and of course logically that brings them 6 points from me. I know you could argue that Loona didn't bring nearly as much in terms of the concept, the set, and the outfits as WJSN did, and I hear you. I can't even disagree with you necessarily. But something about Loona's performance stood out to me even more and made me emotional. I swear it's not just because I ult these girls and would see my soul for them at any given point. I think it might be the way their big number of members was used in the choreography. Formations were very interesting and powerful, especially the part with Hyolyn on the floor. The camera work which transitioned from her in the center to the whole group from the above their head angle was absolutely stunning and I have to give props to Mnet for not having shitty camera work for once in their existence. The same problem appeared though, as we've already discussed with Kepler. Only like 5 members got to shine and actually got some center time. I watched this performance twice and I only remember seeing Kim Lip, Heejin, Chuyu, Olivia Hai and Eve. That's it. The rest were nowhere to be found. Swa hope we are planning to work on that for future performances. BBC, I already thought this whole performance was just going to be them dancing with a bit of vocals in the background, but then they started full-on singing during the last part of the performance and I almost teared up. As of this very moment they are my top choice for winning this season and I hope they do. It all just depends whether or not they will keep this level of performances up or will they drop down. I only wish for the best, because they started off insanely well. Overall, this is the statistic and points we are currently looking at. You could probably figure out my system of how I'm giving out points, so I won't explain it to you in detail. I know you guys are smart enough to understand it easily. Overall, these performances were half-half for me. Half of them were a complete telly snooze fest or even a whole disaster, while the other half were amazing. I'm super intrigued to see what the next episode will bring because I need to see everybody step up their game and deliver us perfection of stages. It's what this show demands if you want to win. With that, I'm signing off until my next video is up very soon. Hope to see you there and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye, have a very nice day or night.